days. The train has arrived. What time is it?
Nearly 2 o'clock.
So they're how late? 2 hours at least.
Thought she'd gone.
She's been abroad for 5 years. I don't know what she'd be like now. I remember when I was 15 or so, my father, he owned a shop in the village. Dead now, of course. Well, he hit me in the face with his fist and blood started to pour out of my nose. We were out in the yard for something or other, and he was a little drunk. Seems like yesterday. She was such a slim, young thing. She brought me in and took me into the washroom. Don't cry, little peasant. It'll heal in time for the wedding. It's true. My father was a peasant. But here I am in a white waistcoat and yellow shoes, a pearl of an oyster. I'm out of money now, but look twice and you'll see I'm a peasant. Down to the marrow of my bones.
What's the matter with you?
I was reading this. Couldn't understand a word. I fell asleep.
The gardener sent them. He says to put them in the dining room.
I don't know. Every day something bad seems to happen to me. Not that I complain. I'm used to it. I even smile.
I think they're coming.
They're coming? Oh my God, what's the matter with me? I've gone all cold.
Let's go. Meet them.
5 years and I haven't seen.
This way, look, this way. Do you remember which room this is? I didn't sleep on the way. I only slept at night.
I'm going to tell you. You pick it off. You know what I mean. Just after Easter, proposed to me. Still on about the same old thing.
Gradually lost all the pins.
I don't know what to think. She's in love with me. So in love. I shouldn't even recognize you, Anya. When you left, I was so high.
I've had the most terrible time.
I can imagine.
We set out in Holy Week. It was cold. She had a lot of talks the whole way. Why on earth would you settle me with her?
You couldn't have traveled alone. Not at 17.
Anyway, we get to Paris, and it's cold. It's snowing. My French was terrible.
When she arrived, she got people living with her. And the air is full of tobacco smoke.
And it's bleak and uncomfortable.
Oh, my little Pippin. Look, Yippee loves you. Why do you strain things out with her? What are you waiting for?
I'll tell you what I think. I think nothing's gonna come of it. She's busy. She hasn't got time for me. She doesn't even notice. Well, good luck to her. I can't bear the sight of her. Everyone keeps talking about our wedding. Everyone keeps congratulating me. But in fact, there's nothing there. It's all a kind of dream. I go about the house all day in a dream.
If we could just get you married, someone rich, then I could ease my mind.
The room, the windows, just as if I'd never left. I didn't sleep on the way.
In August, they're selling off the estate. Yeah, she's already sold the villa outside of Mention. She has nothing, nor do I, not a kopeck. We scarcely manage it here.
Yeah, the birds are singing in the orchard.
It's exactly a year ago today since Father died. It was on your name day, Arena.
I haven't got proper papers. Don't know how old I am. I thought I'd never survive it. So I always think of myself as young.
And there you were, lying in a dead faint.
Why keep harking back? When Papa and Mama died, some German lady took me in. Where I come from, who I am, I don't know. Soon the rain will be over. And everything in nature will revive, reap beside relief. The only thing the soul won't revive is me. Day and night, the same thought chokes me like a demon sitting on my chest. There is no past. My past was squandered in things of no importance, and the present is horrible in its absurdity. That's my life. And my love, where can I put them? What can I do with them? My feelings are running to waste as pointlessly as a ray of sunlight in a bottomless pit. When you tell me about your love, a kind of dullness settle over me and no words come. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can say to you. How very agreeable it is to pluck at the strings of a mandolin.
That's not a mandolin. That's a guitar.
It's a man woman in love, it's a mandolin.
Horrible way these people sing, like jackals howling.
Years ago, I used to meet her at my sister's. I was 17 then. Why didn't I fall in love with her then and propose to her?
It would have been so easy. Yes. You should have both been woken up by the storm together. She would have been frightened by the thunder. You could have put your arms around her and whispered, "Don't be afraid. I'm here."
Oh, wonderful thought.
So sweet, I can't help laughing.
But such a muddle they're making inside my head.
I mean, here I am. I read all sorts of important books. But what I can make out is any kind of movement of opinion when it comes to what I personally want in life.
I woke up this morning. I got up, I washed, and suddenly everything was clear to me. A human being has to labor whoever he happens to be. He has to toil in the sweat of his face. That is the only way he can find a sense of purpose.
How fine to be a working man who rises at first light and breaks stones on the road.
Oh, heavens.
Lord, never mind being a human. Even better to be an ox. Better a simple horse. Just so long as you're working anything rather than a young woman who rises at noon, drinks her coffee in bed, and takes 2 hours to dress.
Father trained us to rise at 7. Irina wakes at 7 and lies in bed until 9 o'clock at least, just thinking. She looks so serious.
You
now.
used to see me as a child, so then you find it odd when I'm serious. I'm 20.
That'll do now, that'll do.
I didn't sleep well last night, and now I'm feeling a bit worse for wear. I was reading until 4 o'clock, and then I went to bed. But it was quite fruitless. My thoughts kept going round, and it gets like early here.
The sun simply comes stealing through into the bedroom.
There's a book I want to translate from the English.
You read English?
Yes. But poor father, he piled education onto us. It's ridiculous. But I have to confess that after he died, I began to put on weight. A year and I'm out to here. It's as if my body has shaken off some load. But thanks to father, my sister and I both know French, German, and English.
Irina knows Italian.
But what it cost us.
Knowing 3 languages in this town is a pointless embellishment. It's not even an embellishment, it's some kind of useless appendage like a sick finger. We know much not more than we need to.
Listen to them. They know much more than they need to, do they? Think the town's so dull and dreary that there's no place for someone of intelligence and education doesn't exist, truly couldn't exist. Alright, let us concede of the 100,000 inhabitants of this town, this so rude and backward town, there are no more than 3 people like you. Obviously, you're not going to prevail over the sea of darkness around you. No. It's slowly going to gain ground on you. It will swallow you up. Life will choke you. Still, you won't disappear. You won't be without influence.
After will come maybe 6 people of your sort, and then 12, until, in the end, people like you are in the majority.
In 200 or 300 years, life on Earth will be unbelievably, unimaginably beautiful. This is the life that man must have, or if it eludes him, he must at least have some little piece of it. He must wait, and he must dream, and he must get ready for it. This means that he must know more, and he must understand more than his father or his grandfather did.
And you say you know much more than you need.
We really should have been taking note of all that.
Many years from now, you're telling us that life on Earth will be astonishingly beautiful? True. But to have a hand in that life now, albeit a remote hand, we must prepare ourselves for it. We must work.
Yes! But what a lot of flowers you have.
And magnificent quarters.
I envy you. I spent all my life knocking about in lodgings with 2 chairs and a sofa and a stove that always smokes. Flowers like these are the very thing my life is like.
Yeah, but we have to work. You're probably thinking, that's what touches a German heart. But I'm Russian. I promise you. I can't even speak German. My father was a Russian Orthodox.
I often think, supposing we could start life fresh, and this time with our eyes open. Supposing the first life, the one we've already lived, was some kind of rough draft, and the second one would be the fair copy. And what we'd all mostly try to do would be not to repeat ourselves.
Or at any rate, we'd create new surroundings for ourselves. We'd set up quarters like these, with flowers, with a sea of light.
If I were to start life over again, I wouldn't get married. Not for any money.
Put it this way, do I want to carry on living? Or do I want to just shoot myself?
No,
No,
that's
no,
just
no,
nasty.
I mean, leaving everything else aside, I mean just taking my own case. And I'm not going to mince my words. But really, fate has treated me quite relentlessly. I've been tossed around like a rowing boat in the high sea.
These great braves, they're all such fools.
All right. Say I'm talking nonsense. Why? Take one example. Why, when I woke up, Why, when I woke up this morning, did I find sitting there on my chest this enormous spider like this?
Go on.
All right, take another example. I pour myself some kvass to have a drink, and in that glass, I find something profoundly horrible. A cockroach, for example. Have you read Buckle? The History of Civilization?
I think it would be better if you told us about the planets.
No. Let's go on with the conversation we were having yesterday.
What was that about?
Pride.
We talked for a long time yesterday, but we never arrived at any conclusion.
Human pride, in the sense you're using it, has some kind of mystical significance. And you may even be right in your own fashion. But if we're going to talk about it in a down-to-earth way, then what sort of pride can there be? Does the expression have any sense at all? If man is psychologically ill-constructed, if, in the vast majority of cases, if he is cruel and stupid and profoundly unhappy, we have to stop admiring ourselves.
Sit next to me. Here.
Our wandering student always seems to be wandering with the young lady.
Mind your own business.
She'll be 50 before she knows where she is, and she'll still be a student.
Why don't you just leave off with the stupid jokes?
Not getting mad, are you? Oh, weird one.
Don't keep badgering her.
All right, then. My dear, what do you make of me?
I'll tell you what I make of you. You're wealthy. And just as there must be predatory animals to maintain nature's metabolism by devouring whatever's in their path, so there must be you. We have to stop admiring ourselves. We have to simply work.
It makes no difference. You still die.
And what does it mean, you die? Perhaps man has 100 senses, and at death it's only the 5 we know of that perish, while the other 95 go on living.
You're so clever.
Oh, staggering.
Mankind is advancing, perfecting its powers. Everything that is unattainable will soon be brought close at hand and made plain. All we have to do is work, to bend all our strength to help those who are seeking the truth. Meanwhile, here in Russia, very few as yet are working.
Most members of the intelligentsia, as far as I'm aware, are seeking nothing. Neither the truth nor anything else. They do nothing. They're still incapable of hard work. They call themselves intellectuals, but they use thou and thee to their servants. They treat the peasants like animals. They don't study, learn badly. They never do any serious reading. They understand next to nothing about art, science. They merely talk about it. They are all terribly serious people with terribly serious expressions on their faces. They talk about nothing but terribly important questions. They all philosophize away, and yet right out in front of their eyes the whole time, they're woke sitting on filthy food and without pillows to their heads. 30 and 42 of them, and everywhere. Bugs, damp, stench, and marble squalor. And all the fine conversations we have are just to distract attention from it. Our own attention and other people's. So tell me, where are all those creches that everyone is always going on about? Where are the reading rooms?
The in novels. They don't exist in reality.
There's only filth and banality and barbarism. I have little love for those serious faces. I fear those serious conversations. Better to be silent.
Listen, I get up before 5 every morning. I work all the hours God gave me. I'm constantly handling money, my own and other people's.
You've only got
So I can't help seeing what my fellow men are like.
You've only got to start trying to do something, to realize the few honest, decent people that are in the world.
Sometimes when I can't sleep, I think to myself, oh Lord, you've given us immense forests, boundless plains, broad horizons. Living in it all, we ought really to be giants.
A lot of you giants would be. They're all in fairy tales. Anywhere else? They're frightening.
Sun has set, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, nature, wondrous nature, you that shine with an everlasting radiance, you that we call mother, unite within yourself existence and death. You give life and you destroy
You're
it.
doing it again.
I'm silent, I'm silent.
Why don't I love the cherry orchard like I used to? I loved it so tenderly. There was no better place in our world than the cherry orchard.
All Russia is our orchard. The land is great and beautiful. There are many marvelous places in it. Think, Anya. Your grandfather, your great-grandfather, and all your ancestors were masters of serfs. They owned living souls, and now? Doesn't something human look at you from every cherry in the orchard? Every leaf and every stalk? Don't you hear voices? The possession of living souls, it's changed something deep inside you, hasn't it? Oh, it's awful. Your orchard is terrible. And when in the evening or at night you walk through the orchard, then the old bark sheds a dim light. And the old cherry trees are dreaming of all that was 100, 200 years ago, and are oppressed by their heavy visions. We're 200 years behind the times at least. We still have nothing. We don't yet know what the past is to be to us. We just philosophize away. We complain our boredom or we drink vodka. But it's only too clear that in order to live in the present, we must first redeem the past. And it can only be redeemed by the most unheard of, unceasing, strenuous, uninterrupted labor. Understand that, Anya?
You put it so beautifully.
The house we live in isn't ours anymore. Hasn't been for a while. I'm gonna leave. Throw the keys down the well and go. Be as free as the wind.
But it's not bedtime yet. The sun attains old Dr. Sutton's last 2 window panes. The man must be, what, 80, 82? It's twice my age the year I married you. Where are you? In the garden? I can see part of your shadow near the shagbark tree. Somewhere horseshoes are being tossed. Clink, clunk. Leaning against this lamppost like a drunk, a dark Vanessa with a crimson band wheels in the low sun, settles on the sand, and shows its ink-blue wingtips, flecked with white. And through the flowing shade and ebbing light, a man unheedful of the butterfly, some neighbor's gardener, I guess, goes by, trundling an empty barrel up the lane.
The moon is rising.
Come on, let's all go down to the river.
Now?
Yeah, just have a bit of an outing.
Moscow! Moscow!
I would love some tea. I was counting on an evening spent with pleasant company.
To
and-
Moscow!
Flaminum hominum spem. Accusatory case for explanation. In a day or two, we can relax.
We'll be back in an hour.
Goes off Vanna Winner Cup. When will these young people learn?
Let me sing you a waltz out of nowhere, out of my thoughts. Let me